Hey tennis fans, hold on to your rackets because things just took a wild turn in Doha. What was supposed to be a smooth, predictable day at the ATP 500 has turned into an absolute mess. And guess who's at the center of it? Yep, Carlos Alcaraz. Thanks to a shocking upset, the Spaniard is now stepping into the spotlight in prime time. How did we get here? And what does this mean for Alcaraz? Buckle up, because we're about to break it all down. Doha had everything neatly arranged for Novak Djokovic to shine under the Wednesday night lights. The world number one was expected to cruise through his match, securing his spot as the star attraction against Talon Griekspoor. But then, plot twist. In the round of 16, Matteo Berrettini, yes, the guy with a cannon for a serve, decided he wasn't in the mood for Djokovic's usual dominance. Instead, he served up a masterclass, took the serve down in straight sets, and sent the tournament schedule into complete chaos. Djokovic's defeat wasn't just a headline grabber. It forced the organizers to tear up their carefully crafted plan and start from scratch. Originally, Carlos Alcaraz was set to play the fourth match of the day on the main court. No big deal, right? But with Djokovic out of the picture, the tournament needed a new star attraction. Enter Alcaraz, now taking center stage against Luca Nardi in the primetime slot at 15:30 Spanish time. Alcaraz, currently ranked world number 2, is now the clear favorite to win the tournament, with the Serbian giant out of the way. His opponent, the 21-year-old Italian Luca Nardi, is ranked 85th in the world and has been grinding his way through qualifiers. He earned his spot in this matchup by beating China's Zhang Zhizhen 6-4, 6-3 in the first round. On paper, Alcaraz should dominate. But hey, this is tennis. Nothing is ever a given. Nardi has zero pressure, nothing to lose, and everything to gain from facing one of the sport's biggest stars on the biggest stage. Djokovic's early exit is the shocker of the day. He was supposed to breeze through this tournament, using it as a warm-up for bigger battles ahead. Instead, he looked off his game, and Berrettini capitalized, sending him packing and raising questions about Djokovic's physical and mental state. Was he under the weather? Not fully focused? Or just caught off guard? Whatever the case, Doha has lost its biggest name, but that just means a golden opportunity for others, especially Alcaraz, who now takes on the role of tournament headliner. The script has been rewritten. Djokovic is out, Alcaraz steps into the limelight, and now all eyes are on the Spanish prodigy. Will he seize the moment and march confidently through the draw, or could Nardi pull off an even bigger shocker? Expectations are sky high, and the pressure is real. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Alcaraz will breeze through, or does Nardi have a surprise up his sleeve? At just 21 years old, Alcaraz already boasts 4 Grand Slam titles: US Open 2022, Wimbledon 2023 and 2024, and Roland Garros 2024. With 17 professional titles under his belt and an ongoing battle to reclaim the world number 1 spot, the stakes are massive. The spotlight, the media attention, the weight of expectations, it's a lot. But what sets Alcaraz apart is his ability to handle all of it without turning into a cocky diva. His longtime coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, has been crystal clear on this. Talent and success don't give you a free pass to be an arrogant prick. In a recent interview, Ferrero put it bluntly: being exceptionally gifted doesn't mean you get to be a jerk or act like you're above everyone else. Alcaraz's humility, work ethic, and ability to stay grounded are qualities his family instilled in him, and Ferrero has reinforced them since the kid was 15. Sports history is littered with young stars who lost their way after hitting the big time, distracted by fame, wealth, and the circus that comes with success. Some got lazy, others let their egos spiral out of control, and a few even saw their careers nosedive because of it. But Alcaraz's team has built a fortress around him to prevent that from happening. His family, his coaching staff, and Ferrero himself have all made sure that he stays true to his roots. Humility, respect, and discipline remain the core values in his daily life. A top tennis player isn't just defined by their talent but also by the people guiding them. In Alcaraz's case, Ferrero has been a game changer, not just as a coach but as a mentor. Having been world number 1 himself and winning Roland Garros in 2003, Ferrero knows exactly how fame can mess with a young player's mindset. That experience allows him to offer Alcaraz a level of guidance that most coaches simply can't. On top of that, Alcaraz's team has been meticulously chosen, surrounding him with the right people and cutting out unnecessary distractions. The goal is simple: keep him focused on becoming the best athlete and person he can be. In an era where social media and constant media exposure can derail even the most promising athletes, Alcaraz stands as a refreshing exception. Carlos Alcaraz has become the kind of athlete you point at and say, "That's how you do it." He's living proof that you can dominate a sport without turning into an arrogant prick. His rise to the top hasn't come at the cost of his humility. Quite the opposite. The kid works his ass off, sacrifices like crazy, and still treats everyone, fans, rivals, and teammates, with respect. While some young hotshots get drunk on success and start acting like they own the damn place, Alcaraz remains the same hard-working, ever-smiling guy who burst onto the scene a few years back and left everyone with their jaws on the floor. Alcaraz isn't just a tennis superstar because of his absurd talent. His character is what makes him truly special. Fame has a nasty habit of turning athletes into egomaniacs, but this guy? He hasn't changed one bit. And a big part of that is thanks to Juan Carlos Ferrero, who has drilled into him the idea that success and humility aren't mutually exclusive. In a sport where becoming world number 1 can inflate egos to astronomical levels, Alcaraz stands as a rare example that you can rule the damn game without turning into an unbearable diva. What do you think about Ferrero's words? Is Alcaraz's mindset one of his biggest weapons? Since the very beginning of his career, Alcaraz has been vocal about his admiration for Rafael Nadal. To him, the former world number 1 has always been much more than just a tennis icon. He's been a symbol of relentless determination, sacrifice, and that insane championship mentality that turns good players into legends. They've shared a team in the Davis Cup, even played doubles together at the 2024 Olympics in what felt like a historic passing of the torch moment for Spanish tennis. But despite their obvious respect for each other, they haven't exactly been best buddies off the court. While some fans might have imagined them as mentor and protege, Alcaraz himself made it clear in a recent interview that their relationship is more about admiration than constant communication. "Rafa and I have a great relationship, but I haven't spoken to him since he left the Davis Cup. I think he deserves to enjoy time with his family and do the things he couldn't while he was playing." That simple statement speaks volumes. Alcaraz respects Nadal not just as a tennis great but as a man who dedicated his entire life to the sport and now deserves to live on his own terms. Rafael Nadal's retirement marked the end of an era, an emotional farewell to one of the sport's most legendary warriors. After nearly 2 decades of absolute dominance, the Spanish gladiator finally hung up his racket, leaving behind a legacy so massive that the tennis world still feels a little emptier without him. His body, after years of brutal battles against the likes of Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and a laundry list of other elite players, finally had enough. At 38, after countless comebacks and fighting through injuries that would have broken lesser players, Nadal decided it was time to walk away. His chronic foot issues, combined with a never-ending series of physical setbacks, turned each match into a war not just against his opponent, but against his own body. No matter how hard he tried, no matter how many times he pulled off ridiculous comebacks that left people in awe, he knew deep down that his days at the top were numbered. Eventually, even the toughest warrior has to surrender to time. Nadal's departure leaves a gaping hole in tennis. No more epic 5-hour battles, no more miraculous returns from the brink of defeat, no more spine-chilling roars after pulling off the impossible. But while he may not be stepping onto the court anymore, his influence is eternal. The fire, the grit, the mentality that made him a legend will live on through the next generations. Alcaraz, among many others, carries that torch now. The King of Clay may have left the battlefield, but his name will forever be written in the history books, untouchable. Rafael Nadal has officially closed the curtain on one of the most legendary careers in tennis history. But instead of grinding through the relentless, soul-draining routine of the ATP Tour, he's finally embracing something he hasn't had in nearly 2 decades: actual fucking freedom. The tennis world may have lost one of its biggest icons, but Nadal has gained something far more valuable: the chance to live life on his own terms, without being chained to an insane travel schedule or the never-ending pressure to perform. After years of brutal training sessions, legendary battles on the court, and an almost inhuman level of dedication to excellence, Nadal can now do whatever the hell he wants. He can spend more time with his family, throw himself into his personal projects, and focus on his Rafa Nadal Academy without worrying about catching the next flight to some random tournament halfway across the world. The ATP Tour is a relentless beast. It chews up players, spits them out, and never stops demanding more. Tournament after tournament, city after city, barely a second to breathe. But now, Rafa can finally kick back, soak up the Mallorca sun, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy life without having to count calories or stress about his next match. Carlos Alcaraz, the rising star of Spanish tennis and the guy everyone sees as Nadal's heir, understands exactly what this moment means. He deeply respects Nadal's legacy and knows that, after everything he's given to the sport, the 22-time Grand Slam champion deserves this break. Alcaraz, known for his humility and maturity beyond his years, doesn't just admire Rafa. He gets it. He understands the insane sacrifices Nadal has made and why now is the time for him to step away from the grind. For me, he's always been and will continue to be a huge role model, Alcaraz recently shared. I saw that he congratulated me on social media, but I haven't had the chance to talk to him yet. I'm sure the moment will come. Alcaraz's words aren't just about admiration. They show a deep understanding of everything Nadal has given up throughout his career. While their paths have crossed on the court, and there's no doubt that Nadal has influenced the young Spaniard's development, their relationship is built on mutual respect rather than constant interaction. The big question now is whether Nadal will continue to shape Alcaraz's career in the future. Will the legendary champion take on a mentor role? Will his influence help mold the next generation of Spanish tennis? Let us know what you think and join the conversation.